Hi guys, welcome to Unit 6, Lesson 6, Add and Subtract Algebraic Expressions. So personally, and I've talked about this before earlier in this unit, stuff like this is like my favorite type of math. Because again, I just feel like it's kind of like a puzzle. So hopefully you feel the same, but I guess we'll see. So a new term, like terms, right? Which terms whose variables and exponents are the same. So, like, you can combine x's together. You can combine y's together, right? You can't combine an x and a y, right? That'd be like combining apples and oranges and asking how many oranges you have, okay? So that just doesn't work. The best way to work on this, I think, is just to go straight into examples. Some of the examples that I chose are a little more complicated from your lesson, which is why I chose them. So you may need to pause this video and then come back to it after you've gone through the lesson to fully understand, okay? So let's see, number 1, I've got 1/2 times parentheses x plus 4 plus 1/4 times parentheses 4x minus 2. So the very first thing I need to do is I need to use the distributive property to apply those fractions into everything inside the parentheses. I'm going to get rid of all my parentheses so then I can combine everything, because my goal is to simplify this, all right? So if I'm going to distribute this in, I've got 1/2 times x, well, that would give me 1/2 x, and then plus 1/2 times 4, or you can think, what is half of 4? That would be 2. Now, I'm going to write down every step, so I'm going to say 1/2 times 4 plus, and then I've got 1/4 times 4x minus 1/4 times 2. Oops, and I don't need parentheses. Huh. Okay, so we've still got a lot of work to do. We still now we have to, we got rid of the parentheses. There's no exponents, but we do have multiplication we need to take care of. Well, I already have 1/2 x, so I'm just going to rewrite that. That term is good. And then plus, and then we had 1/2 times 4, or half of 4, which is 2. And then we have plus, and then we have 1/4 times 4x. Well, if we put the 4 over 1 like that, well, then we have 1/4 times 4. If you have 4/4, you have 1 whole, which is the same thing as just saying we have x. And then I have minus, so I pulled the subtraction sign down first, and then I did 1/4 times 2. And so 1/4 times 2, well, that's the same thing as, let's see, I'm just going to take this and pull it over. 1/4 times 2 over 1 gives me 2/4, which is equal to 1/2. Okay, so this would be minus 1/2. All right, now that I've gotten rid of all of the multiplication, I can go ahead and combine my like terms. Okay, so I've got, right here I have 1/2 x plus x. And if you remember from one of my previous videos, we talked about you always have to pay attention to the sign that is in front of the number or like the term, okay? So if I have 1/2 x plus x, that means I have 1/2 x, and then I have positive 2 minus 1/2, which would be minus 1/2. Now, let me check on your practice, which I should have had up already. I tend to do that, don't I? I think they leave it as 1/2, but I just want to check. It might be 3 over 2. Because remember, those are the same thing, right? Just this is written as a mixed number versus an improper fraction. So it just varies, right? So let's see. Oh, they are left as 1/2. So we're good to go on that one. Okay, on this next one, this is an example of subtraction, okay? So the first thing that I notice, one, I've got a 2 out here in front of this set of parentheses. So I have 2 times 10b plus 4 minus b minus 2. So this 2 needs to be distributed into everything inside the parentheses. So I would have 2 times 10b plus, 2 times 4. Well, then I have a subtraction symbol. And there's nothing in front of the parentheses, but technically there is, okay? And one way that you can think about the subtraction symbol is really, technically there's like a 1 there. It's really like it's being multiplied by -1. So if I have -1b, well, then that means I have -b, and then I have a -1 times -2, right? So we could say -1 times -2, okay? So now we got to apply all of our multiplication, right, because of the order of operations. So I have 2 times 10b, well, that would give me 20b, plus, and then I have 2 times 4, that's 8, minus b, there's nothing to combine with that right now, and then -1 times -2, well, that's positive 2, so plus 2. And now I can combine like terms. Well, I have 20b, right, or you can use the commutative property, right, and then move them around. We could move this around and say 20b minus b plus 8 plus 2. Well, if I do that, 20b minus 1b, right, if I have 20 and I take 1 away, I'm left with 19 b's, and then plus 8 plus 2, that would be plus 10. And that would be your final answer. Okay? So we got to understand those properties so that we can know what we're doing. Right? Let's try one more. This is number 1 from your quick check. Okay? So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to distribute my 9 into my first set of parentheses. Then I'll do the same thing with the 10. So 9 times k is just 9k. 9 times 1/3 is my next one, so 9 times 1/3. And then we have positive, and then we have 10 times 1/2, so 10 times 1/2 k. And then 10 times, we could say plus 10 times -1, right? There's that -1. We got to have that in there too. So next we'll do our multiplication, right? So 9k, that's just on its own for now. We've got 9k. And then 9 times 1/3, or you can think about it as 9 divided by 3, right? Because if I combine these, I'd have 9 over 3, which is just equal to 3. Then I have 10 times 1/2 k, right? Or we could say half of 10, which is 5. So we have 5k. And then positive 10 times -1 is -10. Okay? From here, we'll combine our like terms, or we could, like I said, we could use the commutative property to move them around. So, oops, and I should have had this come all the way over here. I have 9k plus 5k, and then let's see, I have a positive 3 minus 10. Okay? So 9k's plus 5k's gives me 14k, and then positive 3 minus 10, well, if I have 3 and I take 10 away, then I'm at -7. And again, that would be your final answer. So I certainly hope that it helps having some examples worked out for you, but if you need more, just let me know.